Good morning, traders. Today is Friday, April 11th. On 2025, we're looking at this market today together here. Before I get into my analysis, I want to say this is for educational purposes only. This is not a recommendation to buy or sell any foreign exchange contracts or futures contract, and trading is risky. And definitely make sure that you're well capitalized and know what you're doing before you engage in trading. Well, then, with that said, we're going to dive in real quick here in our analysis. We're looking at, I'll move this a little over here. ES is typically what we look at first. We're going to be looking at ES here, the S&P 500. It definitely looks like we want to bounce higher here. Bottom middle chart is the NQ, the NASDAQ, and ES definitely looks like he wants to go higher. Yesterday, on Monday, or was it Wednesday? Today's Friday. So Wednesday we had a big push up. Well, from the time the market opened, the market looked like he wanted to go higher. And then with the announcement about the pause on the tariffs for 90 days, we got this big, huge candle on the 30 minute. That created a fair value gap. We came back to it yesterday, and we're bouncing out of it now. And there's a smaller one that was created 3 hours ago. It looks like it wants to go higher now. So I think today could be a bullish day, as well as it could be a bearish day, because this market is so driven by headlines right now. It's not even funny. So that's why the last couple of weeks almost haven't been trading much of the indices, because it's showing that we can definitely get caught flat-footed here if we're not careful. So now we're getting this little triangle here. It's like a little triangle going high. I think if we break to the upside here, we definitely can see a day where we test the highs from Wednesday. Wednesday and Thursday here. So that's one thing I'm going to look for. I think bullish is the way that we want to go for this market here. But again, things can change with a tweet, with a headline. So that's why we're going to be, probably just kind of be mentally watch this market. Same thing's happening in the NQ. As we know, NQ can be very, very quick. So we got this trend line here. We're right at the trend line. That's where we're bouncing off. And let's look at this one down here. Let's put it over here like this. Again, there's has to be some explosive move in the making here. Could be going lower, could be going higher. I think either way we break here, I would say be careful of the false breakout. That's the thing with being a breakout trader. I mean, I'm not a big breakout trader for that reason, because most breakouts fail. So it has to be done in the right location, and also the right volume, and have enough room to move away from the breakout area. Because typically what they do, they just get you out. If they want people to buy, if they really want to move this market, they may come back and break this trend line, or even come back to this low and then keep moving it higher. So that's one thing we got to keep in mind. One of the markets I've been trading consistently lately is LE, which is live cattle. It's not sexy, live cattle is definitely not sexy, but right now it looks like we're bouncing higher here we could be bouncing higher from live cattle, from this fair value gap that was created 2 days ago, again on Wednesday, by I think that had to do with the announcement also on the tariffs. All markets was really feeling good about themselves. Also, live cattle doesn't start trading. The market doesn't open until 9:30. So we got 20 more minutes to see any movement in live cattle. So the first 5 minutes typically I watch and see what's gonna happen, and then I decide to go one way or the other. But if I were to be trading live cattle today, if I were to take a position, which probably that's the one I'll be trading, I would say bullish is the way I'd like to. I would want to see this going higher. But also we open to the short, because last few days we've been getting some. Even though before that we had a nice bullish move. So let me put some more data on here. Let me put 30 days on the. Then you'll see that live cattle was in a nice bullish trend before we started to go lower. Even to see this bullish trend, might even need more data for live cattle here, because they put 60 days in here. Okay, as you can see, live cattle was a nice bullish trend from the beginning of March. Pretty much almost every day, if you buy live cattle, you could be making money. Then right now we went to that top toward the end of March. Could be a lot of things that happen here, because you're looking at the fact that was toward the end of the month, people were taking their profit, maybe making their profit for the month, and since the beginning of April, we've been seeing a decline in cattle. So today, I think bullish could be a way to go. But we're gonna be just wait and see what the market give us. If you just got here, as far as ES, we said ES here, we're bullish on it today. But again, we're breaking this. That was when I put this trend line here. This wasn't there. So right now it looks like we're pushing down. We're pushing lower. Are we pushing lower to go higher? So we'll find out. We've got 18 minutes to the market. And also NQ. We looked at NQ. Same thing. They're testing this trend line, but this big fair value gap here they can play with. And until really we go lower past this, I think the bulls can still bring this market higher. Now, if you pass this low, I think there should be some more room to the downside here. But again, with the volatility and everything else going on, it's been, to me, it just, even though the indices can be exciting, can be very tempting to trade them because everybody else is doing it. But trading, you want to do what's profitable, and live cattle has been profitable for me the last. Really, been starting trading this market for about two plus months now. But the last week and a half or so, that's all I've been kind of trading. I took one this trade on the YM, I think maybe last week, and it wasn't really that successful. Not so much because of direction, because the direction was right on point. Sorry, let me. Sorry, I had to wet my throat here. Not so much it was the direction was okay, but the volatility is so great, it's so high. I had a 60-point stop on the YM, which typically during normal times, my stop on the YM, if I'm trading it, is usually like 20 ticks, and this one was 60 ticks. I was still, I got taken out, and then kept going higher because I shorted it at that time. I kept going higher, and then eventually turned around my way. It would have been a huge winner, but again, trading it, in hindsight, everything looks. But at the moment, it felt like, okay, I was on the wrong side of the market. Now it felt like I was on the wrong side of the market. So, right now we're seeing some volatility pre-market here, because ES has moved quite a bit. Let's go back to ES here. ES has moved quite a bit here. Those, nowadays we got moves in 10 minutes that we used to have the whole day. So that's another thing. If you're gonna be trading ES, it's probably best to trade the micro version of it. If you used to trade 1 or 2 contracts on ES, maybe trade that same amount in the micros, because we're essentially 10 times as much when it comes to the volatility. So you want to adjust your position size, because this volatility, if you catch the right side of it, right side of the market, it definitely can make you quite a bit of money. But at the same time, you can let me make so again, live cattle on the top left is not going to be moving still until 9:30, and right now we got ES moving up and down. So let me know where you're watching from, any questions, and let me know what you're planning on trading today. How's your week been so far? For me, like I said, I've been trading LE, and which is live cattle. It's been pretty decent. And today we're planning on doing the same here. Trading LE. Like they say, if it's not broken, don't try to fix it. Again, trading is not about excitement or adrenaline. It should be, as a matter of fact, profitable trading is usually boring. So we're gonna trade a boring instrument today, which is LE, live cattle. Any questions, comments? Please put in the chat. Okay. All right. So right now, if you're trading NQ, definitely MNQ might be the way to go. If you usually trade the ES, it's MES. I'm just having the big contracts here so I can, because honestly, I'm not planning on taking any positions in those today, especially on the Friday, and especially on a day like today, where we can see quite a bit of volatility. It has been already. Think about ES for midnight till now. It's 487, which is over 100, close to 125 points. And typically ES used to give you like maybe 40, 50 points a day before all this volatility. Again, ES could be bouncing here on that. When you look at the top left, top right here, we're in a little 9-minute fair value gap. This is a 30-minute fair value gap. That's why it's much bigger. But I think bouncing could happen. Also, could be plunging to the downside. So with that said, we gonna just wait and see how the market goes. Once again, let me know where you're watching from and how things are going for you. Have you taken any trade yet? Pre-market. It's 9 minutes to the open here. And we looked at ES, saying, "Hey, we're looking for a bounce to the upside here on ES." But I don't know if we're gonna get that. But right now we're gonna have. Should expect some back and forth pre-market. The people positioning, getting in, getting out. You know, NQ. We're gonna be looking. This is the NQ at the middle here at the bottom. I'm gonna move this out of the way for now. This is the ES here at the bottom left. The order flow chart, the footprint chart. And again, we're looking to trade live cattle today, like we've been doing for the last week and a half or so. Cattle. If you weren't here before, I said cattle here. We're looking to see if we can buy it from this retracement from Wednesday. Yesterday was definitely bearish day. We had taken I think yesterday we took a short on cattle, which might be right here. Yeah, there you go. We took a short on cattle yesterday based on that price action that was happening. We went short over here. We covered a short right over there, and that was the only trade we took yesterday. It was a one and done session for us. I didn't get to stream yesterday, but I still traded. So we're gonna be looking at probably going long today, cattle. Let's see what happened, or short. So we're just gonna let the market dictate what we do. You know, a lot of times we may have opinions, we may have biases pre-market, but it looks like a ES is bouncing higher here. Those weeks kind of was talking about, hey, we could see a bounce here. This fair value gap on the 9-minute. Now we're below VWAP. It's a Globex VWAP. We're below that, so that could definitely serve as resistance here at 53.05. But the NQ was going higher. And those kind of moves on NQ. NQ always been like the wild child. But nowadays it's really wild. So 6 more minutes to the open. About 5 more minutes now, so we're looking to see. You can see things can move quite fast in these markets nowadays. Let me see if they have any news items we should be aware of. A PPI came out today, okay. So PPI came out 8:30. So how did the market react to that? Kind of went down a little bit. Okay. Just kind of test this trend line, and boom. Well, high probability. I think the high probability trade for me would be to the upside today, as things are easing up a little bit as far as tariffs, and looks like the some negotiations happening. People feeling a little better about what the prospects of the market. So okay, 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes to the market. Let's see what happens. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon just said we'll just have to deal with the trade war impact. And we will be in the crosshairs of trade wars. At 9:15, the Fed Collins says I would expect inflation well over 3% this year due to tariffs. So based on those declarations alone, I think this market has a chance really to go lower than, because this is what's shaping up right here. What's shaping up here was shaping up to go lower. Because by this time we could be closer to this trend line, but we're breaking the bearish trend line, or let me just call it the bullish trend line, because this is showing an uptrend. Higher low, higher high compared to this, but now for the last 3 attempts, it's been lower highs. That's a high. This high is lower than this one. This high is lower than this one. And so we're about to attack this low. So let's see what happens here. I think this market has a lot of chance to go lower than if those kind of sentiment that's in the market right now. Because the markets it's good to see. Look at technical analysis and look at those things are definitely important, but what moves the market is sentiment, So just based on what I just said about what the Fed Collins said, and Jamie Dimon said, and I don't think investors are gonna feel really, really good about this. So right now we're getting market just open, just got the bell. So even when we traded the indices, we like to wait for 5 minutes at least before we engage. So it wouldn't be. So right now we're looking at LE here. LE got what I would call. Let me go to LE in the 30 minutes. LE gapped up a little bit, and then they closed that gap real quick here. So the line in the sand of LE for live cattle today is 195.05. So 195.05. If we're trading above this, we're gonna be favoring long, but they can come back and test it. So if they test it here and then they come lower here. Let's see. It looks like they're coming lower. 195.42. 40. Sorry, 195.40 could be a long entry. But we'll have to wait. Or are we going to see the continuation from yesterday's price action? We just gotta wait and see. Market is selling off right now. As you can see, ES NQ is going lower. Look at ES here, yeah, which is not really surprising because we do see. Okay, so if we're below here, because they're right at the support here in LE, so that's a support line right there. You know, or I'd like to make it as a zone instead of just a line. Let's see. At this area on LE, let's see if we can bounce here. We definitely could. Yeah, right now, at least showing that it's bearish. So 195 or 195.10 could be an entry long, but we just gotta wait for more. There you go, it's going lower. Again, but we had a pivot from yesterday, so let's see if we can bounce here. Four minutes into the market. If you're watching, let me know what you're trading. Things are going for you out there. Let's see. Yeah, I'm seeing LE bouncing here. Also, let me look at the order flow on LE. Yeah, it's a nice little bounce here. Could this be the bounce we're looking for to go higher here? I can trade that. Usually my stop on LE is 20 ticks, so we can definitely trade it with a tighter stop today and see how it goes. I believe we're seeing some buyers stepping in here. Okay, yeah. Oh wow, I think I'm missing this entry in LE. I kind of blank, and I'm just gonna put at 95 here. Can you come back to 95 and get me in? So yeah, we're gonna see if we can go long LE here, but we're gonna put a tighter stop if we get fill. Yeah, there you go. If we get fill, we're gonna put a tighter stop. Let's see, 42. 5 ticks would be 15, which is 57.5. Okay, so we're gonna do 15 here, 15 tick stop, going for 95, 97.5. So we're going for 41 ticks. We just like to cover our commissions if we get there. So again, we had a support here. I mean, this is purely speculative at this point. This is this market gap up, but it looks like if they come back and tag us out here, we know hey we want the wrong side of the market. That's why we only trading 2 contracts. Typically we're trading 3, but we're trading 2 here with the tighter stop. Only 15 ticks. So is this 15? No. Yeah, about 15 ticks. So again, here it's looking like we may get taken out here. Shit, 13 ticks. Sorry, did I say 15? I think we should give it 15 ticks, which is this. Let me just make sure I just don't want to get taken out for 2 ticks, and I'm not doing it the right way. Let's see, 17. Okay, I was at 15 ticks. Okay. 57.5. Okay. We're definitely at a location here that I like the location as far as for go long here, but we may get taken out too. So yeah, I'm trying to move this 57.5, but it's not letting me. I think I need to start moving my stuff when I'm on the. Okay, there you go. Even Italy, that's 41. That seems very large. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I think all markets are being really more volatile than usual with the environment. So, like right now, if we make a new bar to the downside here on LE here, we don't want to be part of this trade anymore. We wanna be out. So it is what it is. We're gonna have losses. But again, this is more like for me seeing the order flow coming in at the bottom here, thinking we have possibility to go higher here. As you can look at the bottom left, the buyers are getting a little aggressive, but let's see what happens. In the meantime, ES and NQ are doing their stuff. They've gone back and forth now. They're trying to bounce higher. Lately here we're getting some more aggressive buying. Let's see if the volume will definitely turn bullish here or not. Thing on the LE here is you gotta be patient. I mean, right now with every time you trade, you should be patient. Any market you trade, you should be patient. But LE definitely requires you to be patient and see how things go. We see some trap sellers down here, which is a good sign. They be moving away from this level. Those sellers, I don't know if they're gonna get rescued or not. We hope they don't. to be honest with you. So yeah. Yeah, we give it 15 ticks. If it's 15 ticks, we get taken out here. It is what it is at this point. Yesterday we took one trade and we're done. And today is Friday, so we're definitely not gonna be trying to stay in this market too long. If we get taken out here, we'll reassess and see if we can take another trade, either long or short. Because sometimes you get taken out in the direction that you are in originally. That doesn't mean you shouldn't try another one in that same direction, but it's just based on what the market does here. We'll see. Yes, as you can see here, it's kind of moving back and forth. Nothing going on the first 12 minutes here. Yes, it's ranging. But again, the market internals are bullish, so meaning the big boys could be buying here. All right, we're getting a push right now. A nice little push on LE, which is good. 20 ticks. Usually we're gonna move to break even. But on a day like today, we might be a little less patient. Gonna move it. I like that push up here on LE. There you go. Now we're at break even on LE. So win, lose or draw here. We're gonna be okay with that. So we are approaching the high, which was at the 195.65. Yeah, I have live data on all mine. I have live data on all mine. Everything is in sync today. Everything is in sync. We got 20 ticks here on LE. Let's see if we can get 21 more, and see if we can hit that target here. Honestly, if we just break this high, I think for our ability to hit the target will be definitely much higher. So here we're moving higher on ES on the top right. So I think again, coming into this market, I thought we could be higher today. Also, it could be lower because this market is so headline driven. It's really almost impossible to trade it based on traditional concepts. You just got to be taking what the market gives you and move away, because 1 minute you can be up 20 points and the next minute you be down 20. So it is what it is. You just gotta. It comes with the territory. All right, we know sometimes when the market start moving like this, there'll be a reaction the other way. All we're saying right now, hey, hopefully it doesn't move back 20 ticks and take us out at break even, which in this environment or anytime really break even trade, it's not as bad as a loser. It's always going to be better than a loser. Now, would we want it to be a winner? Yes. Is it? But that doesn't mean that's what we're going to get here. Again, if we make a new high here, I think we got a big possibility to move to up 9 ticks, 8 ticks. If we get taken out here, we'll think market is turning bullish, so we may try another long. Yeah, equities are turning bullish now. So, which we coming into this market. If you were here at the beginning, I'm like, this market looks like it wants to go higher with the big fair value gap here, and we got all this the market internals are definitely bullish. So, you know, if I think had a chart earlier of, I think I closed it, but let me try it again here. Gonna do a 1 minute on the advanced decline. The advanced decline chart here for a day. Give us an idea what's happening here. We're gonna do the 1 minute, not the volumetric. That's not what I want. I want just a regular 1 minute. So as you can see, as when decline is, it's getting bullish here. It's getting bullish. So let me put this. Where do I put this? That's the thing. I think I might need I got a 27 inch. I think I might need. Actually, I have a 20. I think this screen might be 24 inch. Again, market is going higher here. Definitely looking for buys. Advanced decline is going higher. In the meantime, we're seeing like a little fight going on between buyers and sellers here on live cattle. Again, we're on the seller side, so we're on the buyer side. Sorry, we would want to see it go on the buyer side here, but doesn't mean that's what's going to happen. Definitely, market is getting bullish as far as the equities, ES and NQ right now, even though it's showing that he wants to go bearish. We got a fair value gap on ES here. So this resistance we're seeing here is definitely normal, but if he breaks that, I think the bulls they want to take control of this market. There you go. LE is pushing higher. Let's see if we can. This is when this was happening, and then Q. I was like, don't believe this. I think this is probably the direction they want to go. They want to go higher here. Move it lower. Maybe no bar to the upside here should trigger along. Again, to me, this is a retracement. That's what I was looking at the moment. Let's look at NQ on the bigger picture on the 30 minutes here. Yeah, that's all it is. That's all that is. Just approaching this trend line here. I guess the sellers are stepping in a little bit, or people that bought out here, they're taking their profit. So let's see what happens here with this LE trade. Again, let me know how things are going on your side. If you, I know Jimmy said he's not trading at the moment, just watching. I mean, could understand that LE got here which is the high of this candle is 47.5. So it's getting halfway to the handle. So we should expect some kind of pushback. Again, 195.05 was a line in the sand. We said, hey, if we're trading below here, we should be going higher. We should be going lower. But because we had this area of support, this was more like a speculative trade for me. We gap up, we came back, we filled this little gap. It was a mini gap. It wasn't that much of a gap. But right now, it looks like we want to go higher. So, and we're all for it, And no high here will tell me, hey, we're going much higher. So we just need 41 ticks. That's all we're trying to take, one handle in this market. Like yesterday after we got short and we took that, definitely there was some another entry down here that we could have taken. But at that time we were like, okay, wanted to just stick with what we said we would do. Stick with the plan. I mean, right now we at a resistance area. So because of that, we may get, let me see, 95 to this. That's 8 ticks. Is it? It's 15 here. Yeah, let's get 8 ticks on this. I usually don't try to move myself until we really close to my target. Yeah, but we got 8 ticks for now. Please. Let's get 8 ticks for now because we are getting to this resistance area. We don't know how it's going to react. It may come all the way back down. But if it breaks it like it's doing now, I think we'll be in good shape here. So let's look at the order flow. Yeah. This market keep going higher here. I'm looking at NQ on the 30 minutes on the right, bottom right, and in the middle here. Again, you have to trade. Yeah, definitely. I'm not gonna let it go all the way back down. At least we'll capture 8 ticks right now. If we get to that blue line, we'll capture another 8. Can even capture another 12, make it 20. So at least we get half of what we were expecting to make on this. But I think the bulls here looks like they are in control. Again, at this resistance level, we expected some kind of pushback from the sellers. But it looks like the buyers should overcome that pressure down. But getting the Geiger counter is on our side. Saying the buying pressure is much higher than the selling pressure, so that's why it's green. So yeah, let's see if we can get to that target. Once again, NQ, if you're trading NQ and ES, your stops need to be so much larger than normal because you got to adjust the volatility. So I'm looking at ES right now. The volatility is 487. 487 is the range for the day for midnight because so this range we're seeing here is for midnight. I was seeing some push down here on LE. But again, based on order flow and everything else here, again, we should expect this happening in this area. So I don't want to move my stop too close because you don't want to get tagged out and then it goes straight to your stop, to your target. So let's see. This could be a one and done session for me here if we get to the 41 tick, and I don't see why we wouldn't get there. If we can break this 72 and a half, if we break 72 and a half here, I think we have a good chance of doing that. If we break 72 and a half, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna move myself to 35, which is down here. Let's see, which is right below this little swing right here. But right now we're gonna give it some more. Give it some more room to do what it does. Okay, some buyers coming in here. Let's see. LE, definitely boring, definitely slow, but can be traded profitably. Can definitely be traded profitably. So we're pushing higher now. I think we did say if we make a higher low, we can move it to 35, which is another 4 ticks, I believe. Yep, about another 4 ticks. Actually, another 8 ticks. 35 would be another 8 ticks, which is right below this low. There you go. We broke 72 and a half. We're gonna see if we can get to that target up there. Again, 195.90 is kind of in the way, but I think we can move past 3 ticks here. If we just break it by 3 ticks, we'll be fine. So we got 16 ticks locked in there. There you go. 92 and a half. Get to 95. 1 tick away. My goodness. We almost got it too. Almost got it. There you go. So we got 20 ticks locked in actually. Oh my goodness. That'll be unfortunate. We don't get to a target here. Let's see. We got 45. Yeah, we got 20 ticks out of this. Here could be another entry long, but let's wait and see. That's 670. Let's see. Let's see if we can get long here again. We're gonna put a 10 tick stop on that one. So we got long at 62 and a half. This is kind of nuts. Again, we got 20, we captured 20 ticks, so Let's see if this is gonna be a break even day or is it gonna be. Yeah, I think I jumped in here out of. And if we get taken out, it'll be a break even day. Yeah, just wait for the pullback at the VORP would have been a much better, wiser move. I think really I kind of jumped the gun here thinking, hey, this is what just pushed down temporarily to move higher. And a little bit of part FOMO, part revenge trading here. Because you never know what the market's going to do. But hey, again, I could have definitely waited for me to get engaged long again here. And just wait. We'll see if we get taken out here, which it looks like we're going to be. If we get taken out here, we'll so we might call it a day because this is not. It'd be a break even day because I don't want to be chasing this market and get to a place where I'm trying to be right. And yeah, got taken out here at 10. Not the way that really I should be doing this here. Again, this could be a pullback to get higher. Waiting for the double pullback here would have been the better thing to do here. Yeah, we're gonna catch our breath here. We'll break even for the day here, and also like we're in a downswing here. Let's see what the order flow is saying. Yeah, things are definitely getting red here. All right, because of that. Let's see, 195.15 could be an entry short here. Oh no, that's not what I meant. I meant 3. Yeah. If you can defeat them, you join them, right? Like they say. So if we can get lower here. Well, needless to say, this will be my last trade for the day. I mean, it's gonna be either losing day or nice profitable day. But right now, I feel like I'm not. Sixty-seven and a half should be 70. Yeah. Let's see. Be back at 10:15. All right, I'm back. Okay, if we can not make a no. Where was the high in this candle? 70. Give it a couple more ticks on that one. So if we can make that high here, will be yeah. This is not high really. All right, we're gonna close out this trade here. We're gonna close out this trade. If we don't, like we're getting back to this supply zone here, but it's not looking too good. Yeah. Obviously, if it's if the zone holds, we'll still be in the trade. If it doesn't, we'll let it take us out. So lesson so far, right in the middle of the trade, what I can say is the fact that not taking profit at that line up there was definitely, in hindsight, I'm like, this is not something I should be letting happen. It got to within one tick of my target. So really should have timed my stuff a little more. Maybe below here and get another 5 or 6 ticks. But right now, this trade can definitely make up for it and then some. But because right now we're down 1 tick for the day. Now let's see if we can recover here. But this candle here on the bottom left, when you look at it, there was not much buying going on there. Not much buying going on. Yeah, kind of let this situation kind of rattle me here a little bit, but I think we'll be fine. Can we see a breakdown here? See, the equity is kind of going lower too. Not that, there's any really real correlation between the two, but I was just mentioning in passing here, it looks like the buying has been stopped in the ES and NQ here. Like in this little area of congestion almost. Down 4 ticks at the moment, so see if we can make a no low of the day here and get to a target down there. Either or, that'll be a last trade, win, lose, or draw here. Yeah, I just jumping in back long. Really, that's the one that I'm like, okay, just waiting and see what the market is gonna do next. Give it like 5 minutes would have been definitely. So then I just jumped back long here, right around here, and then came back and tag us out for a loss. So this loss would have been avoided. Now, waiting for this to go down and come back and test it and not make it no high, then we could probably engage short right around maybe 40, not at 15, which is a good 10 ticks below where we really should be going short if we wanted to go short here. But let's see if definitely something I'm gonna be journaling about the way I can jump back in long as out of almost FOMO / revenge, which is not something that you want to be doing. But it's the thing with trading, your emotions are always going to be present. It's just a matter of managing them. When people say, "Oh, you cannot trade without emotions," it's really not true, because as a human being, we're all going to have emotions. So it's just a matter of channeling them and be aware of them enough not to act on them. Because at that time, it was clear to me, hey, this market looks like it wants to bounce higher again. There was just a push down to flush people out. But obviously now they want to. It looks like they want to go lower. But let's see if that's going to happen or not here. So far, the order flow is telling me we're getting bearish. So At the moment, it looks like it's breaking to the downside here. Again, a new low at below 65 here. We'll see. We'll move our stop to break even. Um, and 195.05 here is a pretty significant level. I think that was yesterday's close, if I'm not mistaken. No, let me see what the close. Yeah, 195.05. So we should definitely expect some kind of action here. So I got a phone call. Normally I don't pick up my phone, but my wife was calling, so typically she doesn't call me at that time. All right, so we up about 8 ticks, 9 ticks right now. Once again, I was talking about the fact that I kind of got sucked in. My emotions kind of got. I went long here. We almost got to our target by 1 tick. We didn't move our stop tight enough. We still capture 20 ticks. I mean, I'm not. But when we went long here, we went long right over here. This almost was like a knee jerk reaction, and then the stop was down here. Obviously, they stop us out. We waited. I said, okay, we went short back here. But have we waited 5 minutes? If we waited about 10 minutes, we'd clearly see, okay, now the market is changing to the downside. Let's go short maybe up here at 40, around 40. Because if I'm looking at, and it's still not out of the woodworks here, this market could be just going lower for now and bouncing higher. But again, if they go up and take us out here, take our stop out here, we'll obviously be out of the trade. But we feel confident this market is turning to the downside right now. But that doesn't mean that's what's going to happen. I think, as I was saying, yeah, definitely this particular thing that happened today here, we're going to have to journal about it and see how we can do better next time, because I shouldn't let this happen. because the entry at 32 would have been much better here. But in hindsight, everything looks really good, or you can explain it out. But again, I just know I'm aware enough that, hey, jumping back along here wasn't the right thing to do. Um, I can clearly say, not because of the result, but it's one of those things like, hey, you know better, you know, because at that point thinking, I wasn't thinking straight. I just wanted to get back in and make make up what I lost, not lost, but the opportunity that was in front of me, where I could, I was basically up 20 ticks, but I wanted 41 ticks. I was up 40 ticks basically, and I could have definitely. I'm not sure if I was gonna get filled at 95, but he got to 95. So when you get to 95 up there, if you look at the high, it says 95. When you get to 95 up there, I I definitely could have timed my stuff a little more. And that's something I keep working on as far as taking profit off the table. So a lot of time I like it to go really, really deep into profit before I start moving my stop, which, I could always get back in, but get back in here based on this little pushback here we're not just looking at the result, we're just looking at the process here. That's the thing with trading. If you focus on the results, you're gonna be changing your process every time. But the process here really wasn't the right one. Wasn't the right way to do it. The process here was supposed to be, hey, let's wait. We just got out. We're still emotional. We still have that FOMO that's dormant inside of us. Hey, I just missed out on some things. I want to make it back. I want some kind of revenge trading. So that's what happened there. And even in the short, this was going down. I'm like, oh, it's gonna go down without me. Even though we did, I think when we went out, we had this. When we went in, we had this negative bar, but it was close to this, and we got this pivot. So wait for it to pull back to this level here and go short about 35, 37 would have been a much better move. And I'm not just saying that in hindsight, and it's really something that, hey, I know better, I know better. Definitely, Jimmy. This is really that's well said. Sometimes just scratching that itch, you definitely can leave a mark. Hopefully, here right now we're looking at this market. Hey, can if we push down here, that'd be great. That would be great. Not just because it would be a winner, but it would be like, okay, just waiting for things to develop sometimes in trading. That's the hardest part of trading. The hardest part of trading is not so much understanding what's happening, or it's really waiting for it to happen. It's really waiting for it to happen, and that's something that as human beings, as emotional beings, we're always gonna have that to contend with. We're gonna have that to contend with. We're always gonna have that something we're gonna always have to kind of work on. We're gonna get better at it over time, but it's not something you can say, hey, I'm completely that's completely beneath me now, because emotions we're just emotional beings. So with that said, let's wait out on this trade and see if we can push lower here. Any questions or comments, please let me know in the chat. Let me know if you're trading, if you took any position, how things are going for you. So basically, my target is right above the buy tick from yesterday's low. So they may go for that. That could be definitely an area of interest. Equity markets are selling off a little bit. So there you go. Okay. We're definitely seeing some push to the downside here. Let's if we can break this zone here. That would be a good sign that we may be going lower, but this zone here is definitely something that's definitely showing a lot of support here. But again, support and resistance both are meant to be broken. They are there. Eventually, they'll be broken. So let's look and see. Up 7 ticks at the moment. So what we're gonna do once if we were to break this level here, we reducing our risk here will definitely be something that $37. Okay, what we're gonna do, we're gonna reduce our risk because if we can't break this and we break this pivot here at 37.5, the likelihood of us going higher is it's really high. So gonna put a couple of ticks above this pivot here at 42.5. Yeah. This is what we're here with. So we definitely reduce our risk. It's starting to move our way, so which is a good thing. Yeah. Seeing the sellers are getting more aggressive here. Let's see. How is it? Yeah, got some sellers at the bottom of this candle here. Got some sellers right here at 21, 22. They kind of showing that they want to push this market lower. But we're getting the buyers 56. It's a pretty big imbalance right here. 60 to 6. The way we read the imbalance is diagonal. So I'm looking at this here. Yeah, if we cannot push through here, we're gonna go higher. So that's why I reduced my risk. I don't feel comfortable moving to break even yet per se, but that's something I should another maybe 2 ticks past the slow. I might do that. And right now we really got to break even for the day. We're down 1 tick, so that could be a break even day. Like I said, I like that you move your stop. Okay. Yeah, that's something I should consider. Because even we got no at 40 ticks at that point I moved my stop. I think I moved my stop into profit by 21 ticks or 20 ticks at least earlier in the winter. I think I got it at 95. I got taken out at 65. No, I got taken out at, sorry, 45. Yeah, so 20 ticks. I moved myself 20 ticks into profit when we were trading up here. We were trading way up here. And I moved myself at 20 ticks profit down here. So because of that, I was able to get 20 ticks profit, but I jumped back in long when this thing bounced, thinking it was going to go higher, which was, again, admittedly, wasn't an ill-advised move. It was more like a FOMO / revenge move, which, I know better. I shouldn't be doing that. But at the moment, my emotion got the best of me. So if we break this level here, we're gonna be moving us up probably to break even. I may not even wait for it to move to break even. Right now we're at 10:35. So this market's been open for about an hour and 5 minutes. You know, should know which way we want to go. Again, win, lose, or draw here. We're gonna that should be our last trade for the day. That will be a last trade for the day. I'm not gonna say should. I'm saying that will be. Yeah, I had a FOMO entry. You probably missed it. I had a FOMO entry right here. I went long at 62 and a half, and he came back and tagged me on that same candle. I mean, not the same candle, but the next candle here at 95.10. That's when, not based on this chart here, but based on here, I said, okay, I'm gonna go short here at 15 below this. When this candle closed down, I went short, and it came back and gave me. I kind of went against me a few ticks here, and my stop was above this band. That's 70, I think 75. Yeah, my stop was above this band right here. I'm like, if we go any higher than this, I don't want to be part of this trade. Like right now, we're up 7 ticks, between 7, 8, 9 ticks. I think it's still a little tight, 6 ticks at the moment for me to move my stop to break even. I want to give it the opportunity. Either it's going to break this band or it's going to come back and take out that swing. Which at this point here, I'm only risking 20. I'm risking 11 ticks right now. So I'm only risking 11 ticks compared to the 23 that I was risking at the beginning of this trade. So it's something gotta give right here. Either we're gonna go much lower or we're gonna go much higher, because we had that support zone here. Everything's pointing that we could be going lower, but before we go lower, we may go higher. And unfortunately, if they go higher here, they tag me out by a couple of ticks. It'll be unfortunate, but I'm following my plan, which is what I didn't do on that second trade. That second trade, what I did, I just jumped in because I'm like, this thing's going back up. Let me just jump in, and boom. What happened is it just didn't work out. So as we're breaking this down here, if we get below 70. If we get below 70 here, we're going to be moving. Ideally, really would like to get to 65 to move to break even. But, if we get to below 70, that means we get to 67 and a half. So that means, we'll be in a position to move us up to break even. Our ATM is already set up. When we're 20. Right. definitely. I agree with you here. We're gonna move to break even at least. All right, let's move to break even. Let's move to break even, and if this doesn't work out, it doesn't work out because we're up a good 17 ticks here. So, to me, in my book, almost a break even, especially after the week that I had, the break even day today wouldn't be disastrous. I think what really made it more than anything is the fact that, hey, it's not so much the result. It's not so much, okay, the amount of money that you're gonna make or lose. It's more how did you perform? How did you do according to your plans? Because right now, if I'm just gonna go for a couple ticks profit, I want to give this a little more room, but I don't want to be. I'm far enough into profit where we're like 16, 7 ticks into profit right now, where I feel like I can move to break even. 18 ticks in profit. Definitely, it's a position where I can say to myself, if they come back and tag me out here, more power to them. Because my stop is kind of hidden behind a few swings. Within those candles, there were some few swings that was being made here. So it is what it is at this point. Win, lose, or draw, we're gonna stick to our plan and go. NQ 600. Yes, that's the thing with the volatility that we're having now in the indices. The volatility is so much. If you trade in a regular contract, if you get on the wrong side, or even if you don't get on the wrong side, you can get on the right side. But if it doesn't work out for you right away, because for example, if you sell down here on ES, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. That thing has already moved against you for almost 40 points, 160 ticks. So something move against 160 ticks, you're gonna be in trouble here. So that's why you can't sell at those bottoms. You gotta wait for pullbacks. Shouldn't be buying at tops or sell at bottoms. And that's what I kind of did here. Again, this is why it's so bad. I sold at a resistance level. I bought at a resistance level here. Which I know better. Should just wait for a pullback and maybe buy here. Then if I get caught flat footed, that's another thing. But it's yeah. Let's see how this trade develops here. If we can make a new low for the day, which low of the day is at 65, 194.65. Yeah, at best, really, what we could do trading those markets like ES and Q would be the micro versions. You can't be trading the full contract. If you're gonna be trading it, you definitely need to know that you're gonna have. Should be able to sustain a good amount of drawdown. Just one contract, if you go short here, you're already down $2,000. So are you gonna on one contract? Are you gonna be sustained $2,000 drawdown? Being in a trade, I mean, it's kind of crazy. That's you're down 40 points, 160 ticks on ES. I'm sure the same thing is happening with NQ. You went short down here, maybe, hey, those breakout traders that got trapped over here. I went down, I went short at 305. That's 467, 463. So you're looking at 150 points, 600 ticks, which is $3,000 on the NQ on one contract. Can you play that game? You can't. Can't play that game like that unless you're willing to really stay in drawdown for a while. That doesn't mean you're not gonna get a lower low coming up, but that kind of game here, it's really kind of crazy. And we know trading is not for the faint-hearted. As traders, you definitely have to know, hey, you're gonna sustain some losses, but you just got to be able to control those losses. Now, if you trade one micro, instead of being down $3,000, you'll be down $300, which is still a lot for one micro. So that's why staying away from those indices right now for me, and this is not an advice to anybody else, is the best way to go. Because when the market is jumping 5-10 points every millisecond, it's just not conducive to good trading, because there's not a lot of logical or rational trading happening right now. There's a lot of emotional trading happening. People are just jumping in and out, and the bots are just having a field day. So because of that, that's why I'm trading LE. Today will be a 1 tick loss day, or it could be a 40 ticks loss win day, So again, we're gonna see what this does here. If it's gonna go back and tag us out for break even, or it's gonna make a new low, then we can start moving our stop into profit a little bit. So right now we're seeing the buyers trying to push this market higher. And if they are successful, they'll take my stop. If they fail here, likelihood of our stop of our target to get hit will be much higher. So right now it's about nine ticks. We're up. So let's see how it goes. Again, having this back and forth in this level, we knew this was a possibility, or even highly probable, because it's a low. It's an area of support, but support are meant to be broken. When you look at, you squeeze that in here. Let's squeeze this. As you can see, this area. 1, 2, 3. With the fourth time, they'll break it and go lower here. So let this happen. For Friday, usually Fridays are more tricky to trade in general for the indices. I'm looking at this back and forth here. First half an hour of the day, we had a bullish candle. Second half an hour, we had a nice bearish candle here. So it's really like to live back and forth here. I'm looking at NQ. Same thing's happening on ES, obviously. So right now we 2 ticks away. Okay, we got taken out. All right, so with that said, I think I'm gonna be done trading for today. Again, the lesson of the day is don't let FOMO take over. That's what happened here. That was a FOMO entry right here. Other than that, today would have been a nice profitable trade. Now, again, we got to this level, wanted to let it break before we moved that stuff to down, but it's okay. It happens. It happens. We're just gonna have to. What's my total? Total for what exactly, Jimmy? I'm down 1 tick for the day. We got 20 ticks up here. We lost 21, and this is a break-even trade. So total, it's really like, it's like $20. Jimmy's so funny. Say green is good unless it's vegetables. Vegetables are good for you, Jimmy. So yeah, this is exactly what could be so frustrating with trading, right? This thing jump up and got us out. Now it's going our way. Now, will it go our way for the rest of the day? We don't know, but at least for now it is. Yeah, wolves are wolves, exactly. Sometimes following your wolves, that's gonna get you at a break even trade or even a losing trade. But eventually, those wolves will save you because there was no way that we didn't. When this thing bounced, there's no way we didn't know it was gonna go straight up to my stop. Or it was over here, or my stop that was up there at the 75 level. So there was no way for me to know that. So as the market, when the market gonna play out, I'm gonna let it play out and see before. Usually I do Discord. We do I do a recap. So I'm gonna let this play out a little bit more, and then I'll do a recap and see how things happen in hindsight. But we cannot be trading in hindsight. We can only trading with foresight and in the moment. So as we can see here, we just, again, the only thing today I can say, I didn't follow my rules here, kind of jump on FOMO. Then that was a break even trade. That makes a break even for the day, about down one tick. So I'm gonna call this a break even. So yeah, thank you, Noah. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for your support. So now we're going lower here. I think this is the push lower on the equities. This is a push lower here because what they did when I used to trade forex all the time, we used to do this trade quite a bit. We call this the backside of the level, where they come back, they break the trend line, they came back to it a couple of times. They break it here, they came back inside, and then they went down and they come back to it again. So this could be the push down for the day here. So with that said, I'm gonna okay, sounds good. Thanks, Jimmy. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your support as well. Have a good weekend, everyone. Enjoy your time away from the markets and with your family. And just know that Monday will be a different day, and I get to trade another day. That's the thing with trading. Sometimes you're gonna be having those scratch days like I did today, and it's really cool. It's completely off my doing as well. But we'll see what the rest of this market does today. But again, I'm officially done trading for the day, and gonna go be doing something else. All right. With that said, have a good one. Take care. God bless. Bye bye.